Well, joining me to discuss this is the Israeli-American journalist Schrader, the Israeli-American activist and author Miko Peled, and the Palestinian commentator Omar Badr. Well, welcome to all of you. Start with you, Emily. A lot of people around the world imploring Israel to have some kind of ceasefire, not least to get the hostages out, but also to stop the relentless killing of innocent Palestinians, women, children, and so on. But Netanyahu absolutely adamant tonight, no deal, no ceasefire. We will go on until Hamas are completely finished. What is your reaction to this?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on this important topic tonight. I think the way that even the sentiment was phrased, that it's Israel rejecting ceasefire, isn't quite accurate. When it comes to what the situation is on the ground. Israel has been willing to accept multiple ceasefires in the past, as well as they have done temporary pauses in fighting. The reality is that we had a ceasefire on October 6th. It wasn't Israel who started this war, but it is Israel who will finish it. And you cannot invade the sovereign borders. We're not even talking about disputed territory. We're not talking about the West Bank, but the sovereign borders of the state of Israel, rape, murder, and maim innocent people, and then kidnap over 200 more and expect that you can dictate the terms of your own survival and staying in power in the Gaza Strip. This is just not the way it works, and Israel would actually be in violation of international law for doing so. Because Israel, as a state actor, has an obligation legally to restore a sense of security to the citizens of the state of Israel. And unfortunately, that cannot be done until Hamas is removed from power in the Gaza Strip.
Well, look, I think Israel had a right to defend itself, a duty to defend itself. But we now have, as we've heard, I think it's 12,000 children believed to have been killed. Another 20,000 or so have been orphaned. Two-thirds of Gaza has been flattened. And here Benjamin Netanyahu says after 4 months, well, we're nowhere near finished. There's months more of this. We will continue until the last Hamas terrorist is gone. OK, but that may mean the entire Gaza Strip is gone, destroyed, flattened. It may mean, well, hang on. It may mean the number of children killed doubles to 20,000, maybe 30,000. At what point does this become, even to people who support Israel implacably about this, does it become just utterly disproportionate?
Well, I think proportionality isn't the actual question here. There's a very easy way to end this war, and that is to return all of the hostages and to surrender unconditionally. That is what Hamas should be doing. That is where the focus and the pressure of the international community.
Hang on, but Emily, that would not.
Of course it would. Those are Israel's two demands.
No, hang on. Benjamin Netanyahu has stated unequivocally this goes on until Hamas are finished, all of them. That means that means another 20,000 people have to be killed, right? Who are just the terrorists.
No.
So he's not going to stop if the hostages got released tomorrow.
But that's not true. I said
Netanyahu,
the unconditional,
Emily, let me finish.
Let me finish
my question.
Of Hamas.
I don't think Prime Minister Netanyahu has any intention, even if the hostages get returned tomorrow, of letting 20,000 Hamas terrorists remain in power in Gaza. He's going to continue.
But I already said that. I said the release of hostages and the unconditional surrender of Hamas. Hamas cannot remain in power in the Gaza Strip and have Israel restore a sense of security. Those two things cannot coexist. That is why Netanyahu said we will not accept any term in which Hamas stays in power, because they will do the same thing again. And the longer this goes on, the longer they stay in power, the more funding. I think the most recent document said 150 million went through Sinwar in the documents that the IDF found on the ground. The more money that Iran is funding,
but Emily, you cannot just
the stronger Hamas is.
You cannot just kill everybody in Gaza. You can't.
Israel is not intending to kill everyone in Gaza.
If they carry on for many more months,
we are risking.
They carry on for many more months. How many people are going to get killed?
No,
I can't answer that question as to how many people are going to be killed, but I can tell you that not a single, not even one more person would be killed if Hamas surrendered unconditionally today.
All right, I want to find. Listen, we have a
will be killed.
Let me give the final word to the Palestinian on the panel, which is you, Omar.
Look, we have to stop this pretense that Israel is engaging in accidental violence in which Palestinian civilians are killed. Every major human rights organization in the world, including, by the way, Israeli human rights organizations, document that the Israeli military is engaging in indiscriminate violence against civilians. And that is why the International Court of Justice has found that there is actually a plausible case for Israel being engaged in genocidal violence in Gaza. And that should tell you something. And we have to stop pretending that you can kill this many people on accident. And just one issue with something that you mentioned, Piers, I don't think this is a question of proportionality. We have to be clear about what Israel is doing here. This is not an act of self-defense, because an occupier can never, in principle, be defending themselves against the people they're occupying. If we are serious, once again, what Israel is doing in Gaza, if they wanted self-defense,
there were zero Israelis in Gaza on October 6th. Zero. Gaza is not occupied.
Controlled Gaza. They bombed it at will whenever they wanted to, and they prevented Palestinians in Gaza from going in and out.
You never mention Egypt. No responsibility for Egypt. Everything is always Israel's fault.
Emily, the problem with that argument is this: is that when it wanted to, at the start of this war, Israel had the power and capability to turn off the energy into Gaza, to turn off the internet, to turn off the water, to turn off the food supply. That is a form of occupation, even if you're not physically inside Gaza.
That's actually false.
What Israel is defending is
Israel wasn't able to turn off all of the water. Yes, it is. They only control 30% of the water.
Not all of it, but it was able to turn it off for a lot of people. I don't think Israel should have that power over any Palestinians.
If Israel was interested
in self-defense, and I don't think that a terrorist organization should be ruling Palestinians either.
I don't think that. I agree with you about that.
Is ruling Israel.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that point, Emily.
Nuclear powers ruling Israel.
Okay, listen. I've got to bring it. I've got to bring it to an end. It was a good debate. Thank you.